G'day guys and welcome to Retrospectreviews. I'm Vince and boy do we have a lot to go through in this video. I picked up some really cool stuff for the game room, so let's check it out. Right, let's get stuck into it. There is a lot, so I'm going to go fairly quickly through stuff so this video is not too long, hopefully. Before I go any further, I just want to let you know 90% of this stuff all came from one person. I brought pretty much everything off them that they were willing to sell, which was pretty much everything. Big thank you to them. I won't name them. They did sell me the ColecoVision years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. I went to visit them, and while we were looking for some of the bits that were lost, I came across some other stuff that they had. I made them an offer, and they accepted my offer on the rest of this stuff. So, like I said, I'm going to just go through it quickly. If you want to see more, in more detail about the certain item, let me know in the comments. Okay, starting off, I found this old dust cover for a XT80 computer. I think these were probably, late 80s, mid-80s, late 80s, maybe early 90s and up. So, I just picked it up because it was pretty cool. And that was something I picked up. No, nothing too excited about that. There's a lot of stuff on the back there if you want to pause it, if you get it out of the light there, if you want to read all that. Okay, now the next thing I found was this old Digitor. Basically it's just an organizer. Before smartphones, back in the 80s and 90s, people had these. You could hook this up to your computer to enter data, or you could just do it yourself on there. Now it's got a huge book. I believe there is a cable. They may have had the cable, which I would say they did, but I wasn't too sure what it looked like, so I couldn't find it. But so it's basically just a personal organizer which you pretty much have in your phone today. Maybe if I put that in the camera frame. So you pretty much get these, yeah, this is your phone. Your phone does most of this stuff now. So yeah, not really needed, but I thought it was pretty cool to pick up. And it's got a whopping 32 kilobytes. So that's cool. And it does come with a pretty substantial manual. I think it might be in a few different languages. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty hefty manual. But like I said, you could get bits that hook this up to your computer. So that was this. Maybe if I keep it in the shot so people can see it. So there's the back. It talks about the cable, optional cable pack available. The next thing I found was this Dick Smith Chessmaster. $25 from Dick Smith. I don't think it was not by Dick Smith, but it was sold at Dick Smith, I should say. So basically, you just play chess in the computer. You can play it against your computer. Now, one of my uncles had one similar to this, except his one actually had pieces, but it was pretty much the same. So you get a heap of these cards that are these booklets that you program. If I'm just trying to remember right, you know, you use them to help play against the computer. So there's a whole stack of those. Yeah, and there's instructions. So I haven't used one of these for a long time, so I'll have to go back and find out. So there, you need those. Obviously there's the back of the box if anyone wants to pause the video and have a bit of a read. I know I'm going pretty fast through these, but there's some exciting stuff coming up. And here's the actual chess program. Now we're coming up to something I really love, if you've seen some of my videos, and that is these LCD games. Now this one's a bit different. It's called Shuttle Void. I believe these were sold at Dick Smith, and J-Car and Tandy and stuff like that. The difference between this one and the Nintendo one, this one's actually got a calculator in it. So not only does it have the game, we can have a look at the back there. Not only does it have the game, but it also has a calculator in it. Now, I haven't really had much of a go at this one, so I'm not familiar with it, but I will make a separate video for this down the track. So this is what you get inside. It came with 2 free batteries as the outside. Now it has this kind of indent. I don't know if that's just years of degrading. But yeah, so you can use it as a calculator and a game. And it came with the booklet, of course. This tells you a bit about the game and how to set the alarm and clock and calculator. But like I said, I am going to make a separate video about this, so we won't dwell on that too much. We've got a lot to get through. So that was pretty cool. I was happy to grab that. Okay, the next thing is something I actually just picked up in a thrift store, and that was a big box. I think you technically call it a PC game. It's not really a PC game, it's more of an educational thing. And that was this Fun with Electronics. Might have to pan back with this one. This is a fairly big box there. So this is basically teaches you about how the basics of electronics work. Now it came, if you flip this open, it came with a CD-ROM and a little board to help you put in your pieces to make the game, or to make the electronic thing. Yeah, as you can see, this is probably running on a 486 or higher, so it's pretty cool. It's never been opened, so it's brand new. So yeah, I haven't really gone much into it yet. So it says here on the flap here, includes CD-ROM disc, workbench, toolbox. So that's your toolbox down there, your workbench, and obviously your CD. Build and play over 25 exciting projects. So I'm not sure if I will actually utilize this. I'll have to see if I can get it running on DOSBox or something. That's pretty cool. And I was happy to pick that up to put on in the collection. It's the sort of thing I love to pick up along the way.
Hi, welcome. I'll be with you to help you build your workbench projects. And because I'm the battery, I'll be joining in the fun too.
Connecting number 3 to number 35. Connect number 12 to number 38.
Next on the list is this Hanimex. Hanimex? Oh, that's how I pronounce it. It's probably not pronounced that way. But I do have a couple of these. I've actually got one just like this. It only came with the 2 paddles and the power supply. But this one, unfortunately, we couldn't find the power supply and we couldn't find the right-hand joystick. But why I wanted to pick this one up is as a backup. Plus, it's a lot cleaner and nicer than the one that I've got. Was the fact that it also came with, probably not, I don't know if I get this a shot, this rifle, if I can get it over here. So it comes with this rifle, it pulls apart, it doesn't even fit on the camera, it does pull apart, and you can do target practice, you can do rifle shooting, or you can do, I did get a second gun that came with it. You can do handgun shooting or hand shooting. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, so I've got that. So you can play different versions of the game. Now the one my family had when I was a kid only had the one gun with which you could make into a rifle or into a single shooter. All these pull apart. And I do have half a dozen games to go with this. Let's move on to the next thing. Okay, the next thing I picked up was another Commodore 64. It's a bit grimy, and I don't even know if this works. I basically, they had it there, so I grabbed it. So yeah, I haven't tested this yet. I did get the power supply with it and a couple of joysticks, which I'll show in a minute. So I've already got a Commodore 64. I've got my original, my second one that Mum picked up in a bundle back in the early 90s, probably 1990 maybe. Now I've got a third one. I haven't tested this one yet because I've been playing with something else I picked up in this bundle of goodies, which I will show at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But I was quite happy to pick this up to add another 64 to the collection. The next thing I picked up in this lot was basically nearly a brand new 1530 data set unit for the Commodore 64 or the Commodore computers. Now this is like brand new. I do have one already in the box. I used to have another one in the past that I lent to somebody, and for the love of me I do not know who I lent it to and what happened to it. I possibly could have lent it to this person. This could be one of my original dataset cassettes. I have no idea. But I'll show you inside. It's still in the plastic. The box is empty. I haven't taken this out of the plastic, so bit of a look. Now the foam has kind of degraded this a bit, but as you can see it's still in really nice nick, but I haven't tried it yet, so that's something to try down the track. So I picked that up, and now I've got foam everywhere. So along with the Commodore 64 and the tape deck was also an original Commodore 64 joystick. I've never had the actual Commodore joystick before. Yeah, I don't know why my original Commodore 64 that I got brand new did not have a joystick with it. So it's really exciting to have a official Commodore 64 joystick. So I was really happy to get that in the bundle. But along with that was not one, but two, but three and four quick shot joysticks. So I've ended up with four quick shot joysticks, which is weird because like I do have a drawer full of these joysticks, so at the time being I don't think I'll run out of joysticks if one buggers up. Right, moving on. The next thing I picked up was this Commodore 1541 disk drive that they had, and that's way too big for this camera. I don't know. There it is there. It's massive. Now these, for those who don't know much about the Commodore 64s, the disk drive, these ones actually have a Commodore 64 built into them as the controller for the actual disk drive. So basically I've got two of these now, so technically I have five Commodore 64s if you want to include the ones that are in these floppy drives. I haven't tested this one as well, so it may or may not work. So, but it needs a good clean. I'm not sure what happened to this one. It looks pretty nasty, but maybe it's a future video or future project. And lastly, the piece of resistance. The thing I was super excited about when I came across it, and hopefully it fits in the frame, was this. I don't know if that's going to hold. I might have to hold that. This Commodore 128D. Super excited when I got this. And I might have to stretch back a bit. Okay, I was totally shocked when I found this in the cupboard. I did not know that they have had a Commodore 128. I think these are 128Ds. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to look that up. So I was super stoked to get that. So basically it's like a Commodore 64 but kind of better. I've only just recently started playing with it because I've never seen one of these in person before. So that's why I was super excited and I had to make an offer on it. It did have a couple of manuals. It was meant to come with a 1315 mouse. I could not find that. But I think there was a box there that I totally ignored to my own stupidity, I guess. It had a mouse in it, but I thought it was more of a serial port mouse. I never really should have looked at it closer. I think the proper mouse of this might have died, and they picked up. You could still pick up mice for these, so that's one different. I don't know if the Commodore 64 could use a mouse, but you definitely could use a mouse with the 128. And I got the actual system guide. The other thing I overlooked, there was a modem that hooked up to these. The modem was there, but due to my ignorance of the Commodore 128, I did not realise that modem actually went with this computer. The only modem I ever saw for a Commodore was an old little black one for the Commodore 64 that a friend of mine had. So it didn't click on me until I got back. Like they live, like 20-30 hours away from where I live, so it's not as easy as just popping over to check. But yeah, I did look through. One of the discs I got was for a Netcom modem, which I did, like I said, I did see it, but it didn't kind of register. It was for the 128, so a bit of a stuff up there for me. But maybe if I'm lucky and I go back for a visit again next year, they may still have it and let me purchase it off them. I'm not too sure what I can do with a early 90s Netcom modem these days. I have seen some people still calling up bulletin boards, but I think they've got a more modern attachment that connects to the Wi-Fi. Does need a bit of cleaning and retro brighting, but yeah, I'm super stoked to get that. And yeah, the only thing I did get was the rest of the ColecoVision stuff, but I'm going to make a separate video on that, so if you want to see that, that'll be in an upcoming video. Well, that's it for this video. I was super stoked to get a Commodore 128D. I'm looking forward to learning more about it. If you have any tips or hints, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and share this video because it does help out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you want to see more things I've picked up for the games room over the years, 2 videos should be popping up right about here somewhere. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.